much as you want to plan your life 20 years ahead of you. But coming from experience, none of those would even be possible if you're at the point in your life when you are just left with no choice but to stop. Hi everyone, I'm Tyne Collado Martinez and you're in my channel. Today I'd be sharing a personal journey with you all, and actually it's the reason for why I started vlogging. So I have been waiting to share this part of my journey, especially recently with me taking a pause from work and just really focusing on restoring my health and taking care of myself. For those of you who know me well, I'm someone who actually takes care of everyone except myself. So just to give you a bit of background about myself, I've actually been working since I was 17 years old back in college while I was studying for accountancy, and I reached a point where my body was the one that actually already stopped me from going further. I'm someone who gives my 110% in what I do. I'm very diligent and hardworking and take pride in what I bring in and the quality of output of my work. And so I think that has been really how I am. How I was, I couldn't really say perhaps I was, because I'm still the same person. But before I used to be defined by the role I take on, the job that I do. To me, that has been my mindset, to the point I'm putting so much hours and putting aside my personal time for my family, for my loved ones, and it's been like that actually for the last 20 years. And I had neglected my body's needs for work-life balance, and what happened? My body was really the one that decided, Christine, you cannot go further doing this to me. So unfortunately, my body started manifesting severe effects of stress and anxiety, like palpitation. I could not go to sleep. I was just crying uncontrollably, and I felt a really heavy weight on my shoulder. So yeah, it came to a point that I had to unfortunately take medication in order to keep my job, which I know it sounds bad on me because I allowed myself to reach that point, but that's basically me before. And I know most people out there, especially those who are the breadwinner in their families or are in a certain financial situation, you are left with no choice but to keep going on, and even at the cost of your health. I'm speaking for all of you because I was in the same situation. So it has been 3 months since I took a pause and rest from work, and since then I have had a lot of learnings and realizations, and I'd like to share 3 things that I have come to realize. Number 1 is your health is wealth. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's very, very true. If it ever gets to a point when your health has been gravely or severely affected, there is so much at stake. All aspects of your life will be affected. You'll be affected mentally, physically, emotionally, and even how you deal with, the people around you, especially your loved ones. I remember that time I was actually always crying to my husband. He's already coming from a long day, and then he had to deal with me crying uncontrollably, and it's just really hard for us. And I could say that I'm still recovering actually. I'm still working on, my health right now. I could say that nothing could ever compensate for what I have gone through. And that's saying that, even if I had to let go of my monthly income for the last few months, I could really say that we work all our lives, to earn, to save money, but unfortunately, sometimes we come to a point to that, all those savings will be just exhausted, restoring our health. Good for you if at that time you still have enough time to recover your health, to restore whatever, you have lost. More so if all your savings are enough to do that, right? I am just grateful because I know I have suffered so much, but at least I still had enough time to restore, and not like it's already irreparable for me. I just had to really like pause and rest to focus on my health. Now, I know that you're taking a rest from work, the main thing that you worry about is financial aspect. And I know that people are differently situated, and it's a very subjective topic. But I would say that when you have come to a point that it's your body already that is telling you to stop, you would not even have time to think or reassess about your financial capability, because the damage would have been worse. Money is something that you can earn back, but your health, you may not have all the time for that. So, which leads me to my second realization, that is, money isn't everything. So, I think this is like one of the motivating factors for many of us why we are working, right? I mean, like, I can speak for myself. Aside from I take pride in what I do, I would say that I also like to work because I want to earn money. We work to live. That should be our motto, and not live to work. Anyway, so over the past years, I have really put a lot of hours in order to earn that much of an income for me. And I'm grateful for all the opportunities, that came my way and afforded me the lifestyle that I led, in allowed me to buy what I need and even what I want, especially being able to help my family, because I was a breadwinner for X amount of years. And so, I'm really grateful to my jobs. What happened to me, I was kind of forced by my body to really not worry about the financial aspect of things. Well, I didn't really have enough time to worry about that, because my health is already deteriorating. And so I could say that over the last 3 months, I'm thankful that though we needed to make some adjustments in our spending, in what we could do in our family, what we could afford. God has never failed to provide for our needs and even for our wants. And I am, I know it's different for everyone, but this, I would say, I could tell you from my experience. I was even joking to my husband, because lately I have been finding myself enjoying selling my old stuff, those stuff that I don't need anymore, at Marketplace and Facebook or Meta. And so he had to sit me down one day and to assure me hey love, we're not living paycheck to paycheck. And so I said oh yeah, but we're living auto deposit to auto deposit. No, but that was a joke. But and then he just assured me, that we're not really in need of money right now. We can still get by. But to me, guys, one thing I actually came to appreciate over the last few months is the little things. For example, being able to sell at Marketplace. I guess I have come to appreciate that part in me that I never ventured out before, because I used to just think you have to work to earn money. But I kind of realized, hey, I actually have my my entrepreneurial side, if you call it that way. I think that's it. And so like, yeah, and I got to meet people as well, like the buyer and I as a seller. Well, I actually still purchase some stuff that I like. One other thing I appreciated is that before, I used to take Uber everywhere. Like even if it's just a short distance that I can just walk to, I actually take Uber. But now I have come to appreciate the 2-hour allowance for a transfer in a bus. And also like, obviously, like there are some sacrifices that we needed to do. Like for example, actually back in January, we were supposed to secure financing for a house. But it was the late January. At that time, I was already manifesting kind of like severe effects of mental stress and anxiety. And so we had to make a decision to put that aside in the meantime and focus really on my health first. And if you're someone like me who's worked all your life, taking care of others or really saving too, I think it's about time that you take this for yourself, to take care of yourself, to focus on yourself. And you deserve this. I know that it has been one of my struggles the past months that I feel guilty and I get anxious because I don't have a regular income coming into my bank account. But I know that I have saved all these years. My savings may have depleted over the past months, but nothing could ever compensate for deteriorating health. That is not something that you would need to compromise for. And the third realization, perhaps the most important one for me, is that life is short. I remember I was crying on the midnight that I learned my baby niece died. I was actually reviewing some reports at that time while my family at the other house actually was grieving. And now that I, remember it and come to think of it, I wished that I stayed with my family at that time and grieve, because what I did instead was I put my grief aside, which actually, did not help me at all. In fact, it actually aggravated my condition. And if there is one thing that I really realized during this, recent year, especially with the COVID going on and the uncertainty that's looming, cherish the moment, because tomorrow is never guaranteed. For all you have been working all this time, saving up for the future. What if you don't have that time anymore to enjoy what you have saved up for? That's the saddest part, because, life is uncertain. Like, you never know when your time is up. I've always had this grit, that got me through every challenge in my life, personal and work. But I just lost all of that. It just went out of the window when I came to a point where my health really was at its worst. And sadly, the death was my reminder. Because of the death of my niece, Rio, I had a change of perspective. I had a greater appreciation for life. I have come to slowly accept that there is always a limit to everything. A limit to even our timeline here on Earth. And so what's important is what we put in, or what we make out of the little time that we have here in this life. And I want to spend, most of my time in my life to focus on, the most important aspect for me, and not neglect it for a longer time. I have been neglecting all other aspects in my life and have just been focusing on my career. And so I think this is high time for me to to really focus, my time spending with my loved ones, my family, now that I have a family, my husband, and really spend pursuing my passion, helping others, making a difference, making an impact to other people's lives in however best I can. I had to remind myself that work is just one aspect of my life, and while it actually helps me to support my family, it's not all that there is in my life. In the last 3 months, I could see that I have lived my life more fully. I have, enjoyed fulfilling my dream of becoming a housewife, enjoying preparing meal for my husband, learning new dishes or healthy desserts. I also was able to fulfill my roles of, being a daughter, a sister, an aunt, all those roles that I have neglected because I was too busy working. I have enjoyed food all the more. That's why I gained weight. So I could say that I have really tried catching up with my life. I have developed some habits, helped me through my recovery, like taking a run in the morning. I do my rosary while I'm walking or running in the morning, do yoga, praise God for my husband and my friends who support me and remind me to work out and really take conscious efforts to be back on track in terms of my health and like where I used to be before. And really pursue what I love doing. I am making some progress and I'm grateful for this part in my life that I had this chance to take a pause and rest and take care of myself. It has not been easy financially, but there is no better time to do this, to take this time to take care of yourself, because I think I deserve this for myself. I owe it to myself to take care of my body, my health, and obviously to take care of myself for my family as well, who care so much. And for all of you who are, thinking on whether to rest from work or take a pause for your own sake, I just wish that you find the courage to do so before it's too late. For you, I'm not actually scaring you, but your body best, and don't forget to listen to your body too. You're the best person to take care of yourself. I know we get caught up in all different concerns that we have in our life, taking care of our families, of our loved ones, and many other concerns that you can think of, but self-care is very important. You also need to take care of yourself, and you will be in the best position to take care of others if you are actually well. Try to remind yourself to live in the moment. Try your best not to worry so much of the future, because if you do so, you are neither living in the present nor in the future, right? So what you could be doing is letting your anxiety of the future rob you of your possible joy in the present. So, tomorrow has its worries of its own. I know it's a cliche, but really try to enjoy life as it goes. Take one day at a time, and everything has its own time. It will unfold accordingly, and today or this time is your moment to rest and to enjoy life. Take a step back, reassess your goals and priorities in life, and really take this chance and this time to realize what really matters in your life and redirect your time and efforts towards fulfilling those goals and priorities. Believe in better days. That's all. Thank you for taking time with me, and I hope you could join me in my coming vlogs. This has been Tyne Collado Martinez. God bless!